I'm back with attorney John O'Connor. He is featured in my new film, Police State. And John, you have mentioned at the end of the last segment Russia Collusion and the way in which that was deployed against Trump. It does seem to me that that was an unprecedented mobilization by the police agencies against against the election of Trump, I guess, to begin with. And then once Trump is in office, amazingly, even though Trump is the titular head of the Justice Department and of the FBI, you have his own intelligence agencies continuing the crusade or the campaign, whatever you want to call it, against this man.
Well, that's right. First of all, the intelligence agencies picked up right away, to their credit. John Brennan picked up the fact that the whole Russian collusion canard was cooked up by Jake Sullivan, and Hillary Clinton's national security advisor, to take the focus off the fact that the DNC computers showed that the DNC was in cahoots with Hillary and against Bernie Sanders. This could have been very damaging for them politically. So what did they do? They tried to put the onus on the Russians for Russian hacking of the DNC computer. Well, that wasn't enough for them. They had to say it was in collusion with Trump. So that's what Jake Sullivan made up. It was a brilliant, if cynical, attempt to do this. It was very successful. So John Brennan knew right away that this was happening. He had very good Russian intelligence. Russia knew this was happening because some of their agents were being used by Hillary and company to put this thing forward. So what happens is he convenes a meeting at the White House in which President Obama, Vice President Biden, James Comey, the FBI, Loretta Lynch of the Department of Justice, and Susan Rice. And he told them all about what was happening. Now, what did they do? They doubled down and they acted as though they went right along with the Russian collusion narrative. At the same time, John Brennan later, to cover his base, made a criminal referral to the FBI about this fake initiative. Now, John Brennan is saying that privately, is giving that referral privately, but publicly, he's supporting the narrative. He's supporting the narrative. So what he does is he then starts a program internally called disinformation, in which it's an accepted technique within intelligence agencies to put out disinformation. So he made sure that if he was caught lying, he could say, oh, this was a disinformation campaign. So meanwhile, Brennan is going out telling everybody in the world publicly that there's Russian collusion, whereas privately, he's protected himself by saying, this is a phony story. But you talk about a chilling police state intervention. Now, meanwhile, let's talk about the media, Dinesh. You've got the media out there all over this Russian collusion thing, but within a 12-year-old on a computer that wanted to get into this could see that Russian agents were the source of all this. That is to say, Hillary's people were combining with Russian agents. Christopher Steele's main client was Oleg Deripaska, very close to Putin, a very big oligarch for whom Steele had done 105 intelligence reports. His main client was Oleg Deripaska. He owned him. And yet Steele's doing the dossier. Could somebody have figured that out? Glenn Simpson, who hired for Fusion GPS, hired Christopher Steele. Glenn Simpson was the primary United States contact for the Katsev family that was fighting on behalf of Putin. Katsev is an oligarch also, but on behalf of Putin, the Magnitsky Act. So they're involved. Then you get Charles Dolan, who's a Russian PR agent, is registered as such, and he gets involved. And then Igor Danchenko, of course, who was the main subsource for Steele, was himself a Russian spy, most likely, and the FBI considered him to be one. So you have Igor Danchenko, and then he's helped out by somebody named Olga Galkina. If you look her up on the internet, It's obvious she's a spy. She got involved just to help on this. So you have this whole raft of Russian spies working with the FBI, working with the political campaign, all of them together to oust this conservative president. Now, you can like Trump or hate him, but you shouldn't be using the intelligence agencies and phony media to push this story. But that's what we have. We have a complicit media that is helping oust Trump's people. And you have the police state there. Really, you have the CIA and FBI that know exactly what they're doing. They know they're pursuing a phony investigation. They're clever enough to do it so that, well, they might look bad if they're caught, but they're not going to get prosecuted criminally. And that's exactly what happened. When it came time to, if Hillary would have been elected, none of this would have happened. Nobody would be the wiser. But even at that, there was nothing there to get a conviction on, except perhaps against a guy like Danchenko. And if they would have prosecuted him, big deal. But the real culprits got away with it.
I mean, what a complete inversion, isn't it? Because they're accusing Trump of colluding with Russia. And here you have the very people making that accusation colluding with Russia to get Trump. I mean, it's unbelievable. We'll be right back with attorney John O'Connor. Debbie and I are on a really good health journey, but we still struggle to eat enough fruits, veggies, and fiber, and those are a requirement. Now, lucky for us, we discovered Balance of Nature, and what better way to get all your fruits and veggies plus fiber than with Balance of Nature. This is Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule, so easy to take. They're made from fresh whole produce. The produce is powdered after an advanced vacuum cold process, which stabilizes the maximum nutrient content. And this is Balance of Nature's Fiber and Spice. It's a proprietary blend of fiber and 12 spices for overall and digestive health. Join Debbie and me. Start your journey to better health right now. Call 800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. You'll get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code America. Again, that's balanceofnature.com, or you can call 800-246-8751. You'll get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code America.